There. Oh, hello everybody. I'm on the wrong screen. Let's do the intro.
Attention crew, it's time to make it so. Reporting for duty are your fearless co-hosts, Crewman PVG, bringing the logic, Crewman Mgyx, keeping it bold, and Crewman Tommy, ready with the photon torpedo of hot takes. From classic episodes to new frontiers, Klingon phrases to Starfleet trivia, no quadrant is off limits. So grab your tricorder, set your phasers to fun, and prepare for another warp speed ride through the final frontier. This is Technically Trek.
Laying a course, maximum warp.
Aye, Captain.
Engage.
Kapla! We're back again. I know you missed us from the last time. Welcome, everybody. This is the Technically Trek podcast, live edition, because we are here with you to absorb your chat messages and regurgitate them in Star Trek talk. I am Crewman Tommy. Welcome. I'd like to introduce my co-host. Let's go with Crewman Mgyx this time. That'll give PVG time to think of an intro.
Oh, we're giving PVG some time. Well, I already have mine. I actually have several.
Go ahead.
What up? So say we all. If you know, you know.
And you got blurry for some reason. Your camera went out of focus. Real quick in the chat, we got Chief Scott with a kaplake.
Kaplaka.
We got Crewman Sherry in there with a Battlestar Galactica reference.
See, Crewman Sherry got it.
And let's introduce this guy. Go, sir.
Live from 10 Forward. Oh, sorry.
Man.
I'll mop that
Got
later.
some splatter on the SM7B.
Dude, you got splashback?
All good. All good.
All right.
And that was your intro? That's it?
That's it.
That was-
Yeah, baby.
He worked on that all week. And so
Kaplach.
we did have some internet issues. I don't know if it's related to the cold weather, but I had to reboot like everything out here.
The high today was 17 degrees. That was the high.
What is it right now? Like
It was
12?
like 10, yeah, or at least I think the low is 10 degrees tonight.
Yeah, it's cold.
We're going to die.
It is cold. We've had colder, but no, it was nice out in the sun, but there was a little breeze and that made it unpleasant. Yes, Crewman Sherry with the splatter reference. Okay. It's weird how it did change everybody's names to the long format. But all right, let's
Mine's not.
because she used it for her, I think it just used to say Sherry or something, like her name.
I think that's something within the account because none of my accounts have changed names. Even my zero.
It could
cracks,
be
I
a
tweeted
social
that
stream
from
thing.
Twitch.
Okay.
So the zero frax is coming in correct. My DJ Magic still comes up as correct. So I think
Okay.
there's a setting somewhere where that may have been referenced or
Maybe.
not been set up or possibly linked. They may be
And we
using
are on
accounts.
Twitch. We're
Yes.
multicasting.
I'm watching our Twitch stream.
All right, keep an eye on
Give
that.
us some views.
All right.
If everyone else there could help, it does help us. Oh wait,
it?
I didn't change it, but I like it. Like to believe it. DJT. It means cool sister-in-law. Okay.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
Crewman Cherry, I'm not saying you changed it. I have a feeling that it has something to do with the integration of possibly Gmail and YouTube and Android settings and what you're signing in as. That's one of those long, old-timey things. Kind of like if DJ Tommy recalls back in our Motorola days where, and this still happens to this day, people spell my name incorrectly. They remove an R or they replace an E with an A, and they say, oh, well, that's fine. That'll work. And then you get to a Linux system that requires exact spelling of a name, and it doesn't work because they don't have the name spelled correctly where it does its security checks. So that's what I'm referring to, Sherry. I'm not saying you did it on purpose. I'm saying that acquisitions of companies and merger databases oftentimes will cause something like this to happen. What I was saying is I'm on our Twitch stream right now watching it because, and if everyone else could take a moment, grab an old laptop, an old cell phone, something, even another tab in another window. And if you have an Amazon account, that means you have a Twitch account, and go to the Technically Trek site and just play us in the background. You can mute us, whatever, but all the simultaneous streams and viewers count towards us reaching an affiliate level on Twitch, which means that we could broadcast out both on Twitch or to Twitch and YouTube and monetize our stream where these guys can get some more twisted teas and PVG can get some weird mayonnaise bologna sandwiches. I don't know. Tommy will get his moonshine, which is just flavored vodka that he likes to believe
it's a good
is hard.
flavor too. But it's got a nice jar with it.
It is. The jar's
all right. I've been watching a lot of Next Generation. And I came to the realization.
Wait, are you watching it, or did you give up on DS9? Or is it just
no.
in the background?
I actually watched DS9 as well. I've been watching DS9, so I'm at the last episode of season 5. So probably by next week I should be well into season 6. So I'm there. I'm at the last. I'm at like episode 26 of season 5. I just watched the one where I just watched the one about the baseball card. So I think that's the next to the last episode of season 5, where they got to get the Willie Mays card for his dad. But let me finish my thought about the Next Generation. When you're done chewing.
Sorry.
When you're done crunching on that Ricola.
I didn't know you can hear.
Right. I was
you're-
wondering. I'm like, all right, I know there's a delay, but who the hell is rocking on the gobstopper over there? Just chewing rocks.
Maybe it's just me, but people say that, with some of these shows, there's filler episodes. But I think with Next Generation, there's so few filler. Like when I'm watching a Next Generation, I just get reeled in. Like it's good. Most of it is good. And I guess that's the consensus.
So here's what I think. This is my opinion. You can like it, not like it, but really don't care. I think that TNG was a step ahead and trying to do it right to bring back Star Trek to the forefront. That they had a good, I'm going to say at least 100 episodes written out before season 1 was even done. And they're like, we need to pick, what stories we want to go to, because I think they were in the middle of still trying to feel out where the stories were going to go, the different arcs. So they had a lot of backup stories that were there that they could use that they didn't throw in the first season. So I think the filler episodes in TNG are technically filler episodes, but they don't feel like a filler episode like they do on DS9.
Yeah.
Because it was originally written as a episode to go on air and be 100%. In a time slot.
Yeah.
So if it's picked up as a filler, it's just going to be good. It may not tie in, and you can kind of tell there are filler episodes because the storyline ties into nothing from the previous or in the future. And that's the only way you can tell, but it's still a good episode.
Yeah.
Just because it's just good. Like the one where Picard, Ro, and Guinan become kids. That one's a little campy, but it's still very Star Trek-ish. on how they got that way and how to get back. You could tell some of the writing was punched up or punched down to make it a little bit comedic, but there are all these one-off episodes where it's like, wow, this is a good episode, but what happened? What happened with what happened last week? Where's this going for next week?
Well,
and it never touches back.
Next Generation really, the only time the Next Generation cared about the previous episode is in the two-parters, which were very few. Like Encounter at Farpoint was a 2-pointer. Best of Both Worlds was a two-parter. I think there was one called Descent.
But
it was lore. I think that was the lore episode.
But you have some that are still carry on, like the one with Jordy and Brahms, that chick.
Yeah.
That story arc carries on into other episodes. So it's not. I don't mean like it's a two-parter. Like the arc immediately is a two-part episode, like a Dragon Ball Z. Stay tuned for. It was more like, okay, Deanna's mad at you watch an episode, Deanna's mad at Troy because she's going on a date with Worf. And then an episode or two later, some sciencey thing happens, but in the background, story arc B or C is Deanna is now on that date with Worf. That's what I mean by that's something it's a minor plot point, but it carried over to the next episode. The filler episodes have no plot points that tie in from the last one or to the next one going forward.
Yeah, like Chief Scott said, those holodeck episodes, like the Moriarty.
Yeah.
And you see that across the board too. Like Voyager had a few of those. Yeah. DS9 doesn't really have holodeck episodes, but DS9 has other filler episodes
Romulan.
like Quark's mom episode.
Sorry, I said Romulans. I meant every single one of the Ferengi episodes is
that's
a filler episode. And they after 7 seasons, we should gather these up and make a story out of it because we used all these Ferengi episodes as filler. They have nothing to do with it. And then at the end, you see Nog goes into Starfleet.
Yeah, and I watch it because I'm just like, all right, is something going to happen? I'm going to watch it because a lot of times those Ferengi, like the Ferengi episodes where they go to Ferenginar, that will be like the 80% plot, but then there will be like a 20% thing still happening on DS9 with Dax and
Odo finally kiss Kira or whatever.
Is Chief O'Brien rubbing her thighs right? So I, you still watch it because you don't want to miss what happens in the non-Ferengi plot arc. But I did just watch the episode with where Cisco takes Eddington out of jail to help him find some missile launch site. And Eddington ends up getting killed. And then Cisco has the realization that, maybe Eddington wasn't so bad. He juked me. He pulled the fast one on me 9 times.
For real.
But maybe he wasn't so bad after all. Now that he's dead, he was all right.
No, that was a straight. That was one of the episodes where I was like, yo, you get a glimpse of Hawk coming out. Cisco, are you related?
He was angry. Yeah.
He got mad. This motherfucker. This motherfucker is
he lost his cool when it came to Eddington. That's the one dude that got under his skin. They shouldn't have killed him off. They could have found a use for Eddington.
They could have if honestly,
mirror universe. Oh, he's old now.
Section 31. They could have done a story arc if they had kept going with DS9 where he got recruited into Section 31, kind of like, you were once a glorified Starfleet agent and then you were corrupted and you turned to the dark side and now you could either die stranded on this planet or you can come work for us. Type thing. You could have done that kind of story arc and carried on with it, but I think they knew that DS9 was not going to carry on. So they're like, yeah, we need to start tying things up. And they do that. Spoilers alert. They do that at the end.
Yeah.
I want to say after 2 or 3 episodes of the next season you get into, you can start seeing that this is clearly the last week of high school for these seniors, and they're done.
Yeah.
Because the Vic Fontaine episodes are also, well, those are holodeck ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those ones start. You start seeing a lot more of those. Like, really, you're putting this as the primary plot point of this whole episode? Like, okay, I guess you can't shoot what you already have storyboarded out because you're not going to have another season to work it out with.
Question. If you had to pick not the three characters you hate the most, not the 3 best villains, not the 3 characters you despise the most, but if you had to pick 3 characters that were just the most annoying, like as soon as you saw that they were going to be in the episode, you're like, oh my God. Think of some characters.
All right, say the question again.
3 characters, your top 3 characters that just annoyed the hell out of you when they appeared. Good guys or bad guys or whatever you want to call them. I know we don't really have good guys, bad guys, but
Neelix.
you didn't like Neelix?
Oh, wait, are we talking about DS9 or just overall?
Anything, just overall. Overall.
Oh God, yeah, Neelix, Tuvix,
Yeah.
You about to say Janeway?
Kai Wynn. No, Kai Wynn.
Kai Wynn's annoying. Kai Wynn is annoying.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I wanted to see somebody do the Sparta kick, just boot her off the second floor of the promenade. Just a good like. There. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I know that there's others, but I think I've repressed them so much that I don't remember them until it actually shows up.
You know, one of mine. It's going to be controversial.
Barkley?
Guinan. When Guinan appears, it's just like, oh, I don't feel like something's right. It's like, oh. I mean, it's just like automatic. You know, like now the captain should just know, well, the writers are just going to give Guinan all the facts ahead of time, so I should just listen to what Guinan's going to say.
And she's only a bartender.
I would say that. I totally agree up until the movie came out. Once the movie came
Generations?
out, and you saw the history or backstory, then it tied things together. It was like a weird Doctor Who, story arc going backwards.
A wrong pipe to that moonshine. All right, Guinan would be my number 3. So she would be annoying, but the least annoying of my top 3.
Okay, so Kai Wynn. Oh man, I'm gonna put Kai Wynn as number 2, and I'm sure there's somebody more annoying and least annoying than her.
I'm thinking Barkley. I mean,
No,
Barkley.
I can't hate on Barkley. I can't hate on Howling Mad Murdoch.
Right.
At first, Barkley, he's, oh my gosh, what's
You
going on?
got his
here?
helicopter sitting out in your backyard, dude. How you gonna hate on a man like that?
You probably got the van out there. You got the black van with the red swoosh mark.
Hey, boy.
Now Barkley had a thorough. I will say this: when he was in TNG, I didn't like him. He was annoying. It was a pointless story. When he was in Voyager, it was better because he grew at least a little bit.
Right.
Until they did that one episode where he literally sees that he got honeypotted and he goes to Riker and Troy's vacation on Risa, and then he ruins their entire vacation by doing that. That was just like, dude, that's just wow. But then
guy.
that's I mean, that's good writing because that's what his character would do. But it's like that's just an annoyance that I have to watch that. Man.
He's a smart guy, but he can be a dumb shit at times.
All right. While you think about that, let me give you my number 2.
Oh. Go ahead. I already have I had it.
My number 2, Pelia. Pelia from Strange New Worlds.
What?
Hey, Scotty.
Dude, she knows the doctor.
She has she keeps a stack of telephones in her trunk.
Yeah,
dude. Oh
I
my
agree.
God, you're missing.
No.
You're not. You're not a sci-fi.
Pelia is just annoying to me. All right. Maybe she saved the day, and maybe she's got. Listen, Pelia is thousands of years old. You know, like bring more to the table for a 5,000-year-old Luxonite or whatever she is.
I think she's overly eccentric.
And she's overly, it's this whole, it's kind of like this whole 21st century, this is controversial, women power thing where she's just too good.
And whenever I see her as Latka's wife. Yeah.
All right, so I'll get into Pelia here in a second. I'm going to say my number 2 to change the subject because y'all are both wrong about Pelia. It is Chakotay.
Oh,
man.
Chakotay.
Didn't see that.
People of the Okamaha. A totally fake religion that was made up by some window washer or janitor on the Paramount Studios, which is recently been discovered that his entire people, religion, tongue is all completely made up. And they thought that they was real. So every story, and Chakotay, his story in general.
Who's Crewman RM?
I don't know.
Oh, I know who it is. It's the spouse of Chief Scott. She don't like Wesley Crusher?
Oh, man. Yes.
She don't like the Travelers protege? Come on, Chief Scott. You need to talk to her.
No, I agree. 100%.
Nobody likes Wesley.
Just had a crappy story arc. It didn't only get a little better until he got to his dating Seven. And even then, I didn't like him because he was dating Seven.
I like Chakotay better than Wesley.
Pelia, here's the thing. Pelia is literally a sci-fi crossover between Doctor Who and Star Trek, which has already been done literally years and years ago in the comic books.
I know
the reason why she's able to have a stack of telephones in her bag is because it's just like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. She literally even references
what she says.
The Doctor when she says, "You haven't gone traveling around the universe with a doctor with someone who says they're a doctor in a blue box." That is a straight crossover with Doctor Who. I have no problem with Pelia because Pelia also is the one that gave us the indication of how the Gorn and the Pa Wraith tie in together and why she's like there are just certain evils in the world and they are just evil.
Well, make her character less annoying. And now, Chief Scott says, good one, PVG.
Crewman
That's what she said. That's his wife. My number 1 annoying character, especially, going through a DS9 rewatch. Brunt from the FCA. Brunt. Every time I see Brunt, I just get pissed off. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fast forward this. I cannot deal with this guy, Brunt. When he shows up, and Quark just is a cuck to this dude. It's like, cuck. Quark, stand up to this dude. Like, so what? He's FCA. What? Who cares? He's just, you're on Deep Space Nine. You've got the backing of Starfleet. You got this guy Brunt show up and just tell you, I'm taking your license. Like, come on, Cork. Don't let this guy bully you around. That's just annoying.
I thought you were going to go with Jake.
Well,
So my third, less annoying but still annoying, is Jake Sisko.
there's no argument there on that.
He has the only relevant story he had was where is the Tony Todd episode where he's passing through life. And that was because that was very sci-fi-ish. And most of that story didn't have the kid that played Jake. It had Tony Todd.
Yeah.
So to have
that's a good
Candyman
episode
on Star Trek, I'm okay with that.
I think it was called The Visitor. That was a good episode.
That was a good episode. I like that one. But the kid Jake, man, that is just a walking fuck up.
Yeah.
Like so many stories. There was like, dude, sit your ass down. You literally fucked this up because you know this woman is not your mom. It's not his wife, but you want to go to another universe. This is not like saying, hey, I'm going to leave DS9 and go down to Bajor, which is the equivalent of saying, hey, hey, mom, I'm going to Phoenix with Tom. We're going to get cheese from a store in Tucson. And we end up going to Phoenix and going to Circles. He went to another universe. That would be the equivalent of me saying, hey, mom, I'm going to Tucson to a Pizza Hut store to pick up extra pepperoni. And then I fled in New York for the weekend. With no consent or nothing at all.
Jake's
I'm
character is
15.
annoying. Jake's character is annoying. You know, everything with him is over the top and he whines and
He's like Wesley.
yeah.
He is like Wesley in a sense, but Wesley had some brains and at least a little bit of common sense because he had brains. Jake had nothing. He was going to be a writer. Okay, great. You're a writer. I get that, but you really shouldn't have any doings with anything else with Starfleet. Like anything that's technical is going on. You literally stayed on a space station that was being invaded, even though you knew your father was sick, and you literally earlier had mentioned, Mom died here, blah blah blah. You know, this is your mother. I'll come back for you. And then you were going to be like, yeah, I snuck and stayed aboard during the whole occupation, and DS9 was occupied for what, 9 months?
Yep.
So you're hiding out, and you had to hide out because they knew you were Sisko's son.
Yeah, and all he's doing is causing anguish for his dad. Like now his dad has one more thing to worry about. If you'd have just gone back to Earth, stayed with your grandpa or whatever in New Orleans,
they could have blown up DS9 and be like, oh, well, we'll go get the
Sisko
other
wouldn't
one
have
and
worried
bring it
about
over.
that shit. Yeah, so Jake, definitely annoying. What you got yours ready? Your top three?
No, he don't watch
annoying?
Star Trek.
You ever heard of Star Trek?
Is that new? Apollo.
Apollo, we're talking Star Trek, not Battlestar Galactica.
Shoot.
You're thinking of TOS Apollo, the
No, Wesley, he kind of is annoying. And
you're just saying that now
Barclay.
because Chief Scott wife said it.
no, Barclay.
He's repeating what everyone else has said.
No, I already said it.
All right,
And,
give us an
Don't be a
original
cuck,
answer
man. Come
that
on.
no one else has said.
Oh my gosh.
All right, go ahead. Your top three of your
1, 2, 3,
own
go.
sound, mind, and health.
Wesley, Barclay. Here's my third. Guinan.
You literally just said everyone that everyone else said.
I know, that's what they suck. It's annoying.
There's like 300,000 characters to choose from.
Oh, and Quark.
All right. We'll let you slide on that.
Quark needs to be, show him to the airlock and open it up.
All right. Since you were very brief on that one, we're going to let you go first on this next thought. Okay.
Next,
I got a thought and I want you to give a theory.
original theory. I'm not going to say shit
Okay. We're all going to sit in silence
Oh, that's all.
until you say something relevant.
and just make up a theory. It's
Hurry,
just,
I gotta go pee.
It's just whatever you want the answer to be. How come whenever the Borg attack the Alpha Quadrant, they just send one cube?
Because resistance is futile. I don't know. That's a good point. I guess they thought there was all you need is one cube for this guy, you know?
Like, think about Wolf 359. Had they sent 2 cubes, the story would be different.
I guess they couldn't, they were needed elsewhere. You know, they couldn't afford to send more than one cube out.
Budget cuts.
I mean, before, against one starship, it should have been equal.
Well, no. I mean, when they send a Borg cube, they're going to assimilate, like planets. One Borg cube should be enough to assimilate a planet.
That's true, but why don't they have more starships patrolling an area than more than one?
Yeah, and maybe with Wolf 359, that's a bad example because that would have been their first time coming into the Alpha Quadrant. So they wouldn't know that Starfleet would send, like hundreds of ships. And eventually
Except for the fact that they already did.
Yeah. Was Wolf 359, that's the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
Wolf 359 is best of both worlds in our original progressive timeline.
Right.
However, there's the timeline from First Contact where they go back in time and there are some that are blown up and they're left there. We know this because Enterprise, which takes place well before any of this, has them being reconstituted. So, and here's the bigger question is, if Archer encountered the Borg, which he did, why did we not have any information on the Borg for when we encountered them at Wolf 359?
That's the and again, that's the problem with a prequel, right?
But that's not a prequel though. You can't blame it on prequel because it started from First Contact. First Contact is not a prequel. It's modern day.
No, but Enterprise is the prequel that tried to see Enterprise. What Enterprise should have done instead of having Archer, but there's no way they could have done it without Archer being involved. But as soon as Archer had a face-to-face encounter with a Borg, that should have put the Borg in our database.
Yes. And
the Borg, the
Borg would have known about our data, would have been known about us.
Right.
Yeah, but would the Borg that crashed and frozen the planet have memories of being defeated by the Enterprise E and Locutus? Or would their memories have maybe reset and then they only knew what was happening in the Enterprise timeline?
My theory on this all comes down to the deflector dish. So in the movie, we see the deflector dish came online and got detached and was already transmitting, assuming it was already transmitting. Like they didn't have to wait to be like, oh, we have to wait till it's 25 yards or microns or whatever away from the ship before it could start broadcasting. We assume that once it's online, it's automatically broadcasting position, status. It's given a sit rep being sent to the Delta Quadrant. In which case, as soon as it came online in the movie, it then was quickly destroyed. But if that signal already went out, it already went out.
Yeah.
Which means even if it took 20 years to get to the Delta Quadrant or 70 years, you're talking pre-warp, it went out there. Which means the Borg that were already in that century would have received it and could have been like, oh shit, we got a report of a cube that says they're from the future. We know time travel is possible. This is how they did it. Because you're talking about cramming an assload of data in tiny little bits and bytes, which the Borg can do. Not a problem. They're not humans. They ain't got to decode it and translate it to C++ or Java or whatever. So I'm assuming as soon as it came online, it sent out all that information as at least 1 to 2 bursts of data. In which case, if they got it, the Borg should have already known about us and already Federation, Starship, none of that stuff should have been here.
Could that message be degraded because of the distance?
Well, I don't know. The problem with that is this: if it went through a radiation belt, it could have been distorted. It's the whole, an object in motion, once set in motion, stays in motion. Something could have blocked it. Hell, a random Vulcan ship going through warp may have distorted or degraded that signal. But the problem is no one knows. And that's the questions that real Trek fans, I'll be arrogant and say it, real Trek fans ask that question, not whether or not Tuvix should have lived or not.
I got a better thought. And
What's
maybe
your
not
better
better.
thought?
Then maybe it's not better, but we're assuming this whole plot line of Borg in Enterprise insinuates that Picard was so sloppy that he didn't clean up his timeline mess. I think that Data would not have allowed them to go back to the future without cleaning up the residue. I think Data would have said, "Hey, we can't go back to the 25th century or wherever we're from. We got to pick up the scraps we left behind." I mean, we exploded a Borg cube or a Borg sphere. There's debris, there's shrapnel. So we got to clean that up. And I think Data would have made sure that it was all cleaned up. They could have scanned for that. They could have scanned for the, whatever the...
I've had that same thought as well. But I think because with the risk versus reward of fucking up the whole timeline, even more so, I think they would have looked for transmissions or signs that there was other things happening on the planet. Like if they said, "Oh, reports of a mysterious meteorite crash landing in this area of the Sahara Desert," I think they would have investigated that. But I don't think if they got any kind of reports of any kind of astrological instances on the planet, I don't think they would have put the effort in. Because if you recall, this also happened at the tail end of one of the nuclear wars or whatever, or World War III. And they may have not been able to scan the planet. They may have not been able to pick up the debris. So therefore, they would say, okay, well, we can't penetrate this radiation, this residual radiation on the planet in these areas. Let's look for signs that something happened. Okay, we're looking up transmissions and communiques, and we're not seeing any of that stuff. All right, we should be good to go. We got everything cleaned up off of ourselves. Obviously, they had to get the deflectors, but this also comes down to one of the things of how long did they stay after first contact? Like, were they there for a week?
Yeah.
Or were they there like a day?
Well, no, because what's her name? The black lady was looking up in the sky and she saw them go through they opened up an aperture or whatever.
That don't mean nothing. That could have been a week later.
Well, they were standing there talking to the Vulcans.
Vulcans could have stayed a week.
No, but yeah, to me, there would have been no hurry to go back to the 24th century.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know how long they stayed.
Yeah, they should have stayed. They should have stayed long enough to make sure. Because think about this: if the Borg were able to transport to the Enterprise and take over Deck 16,
why didn't they? How do you know they didn't go to any other place?
Exactly. Why couldn't they just have sent a little contingent to go on Earth? Because honestly, if those Borg wouldn't have tried to fly off into space, they probably could have assimilated Earth. Nothing could have. Those Borg could have probably assimilated Earth. The two Borg that they took out of deep freeze,
right,
could have been enough to assimilate Earth.
Yes, I believe so.
So, to me, and I guess the Borg have this the Borg wanted to reconnect with the hive mind, and that was probably their primary mission. But had the Borg just assimilated more people, they could have just created a new hive mind. Oh, did you go outside?
Yeah.
And who's to say that the Borg didn't take over that station? Because that is a transmitting station in the Arctic as well.
Yeah.
Why didn't they use today's technology to send out a signal? Maybe that's the reason why the Borg are always trying to get to Earth. Although I think it's because of V'ger's original programming, which was to return data to Earth. But hey, that's just me.
Supposedly, there's a book that talks about how Starfleet accidentally created the Borg.
I believe it is. And it's called NASA's Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 and 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
No, it has something to do with the NX-02, the Columbia. Like the Columbia was involved in some kind of, I don't know if it was an experiment or they came across some other kind of alien technology. I don't know the details, but there is a book. It's not canon though. That's the thing, is it's not like official, but some, it's like these people that are very closely related to the Star Trek universe wrote this book about the NX-02 Columbia, and that lady that Archer was close with. I forgot her name. She had like a Mexican name or something. But she ended up, I think she ended up getting killed.
She was the captain of the NX-02.
Mm-hmm. Hernandez or something. Sylvia Hernandez is just what she looks like. I don't know. I don't know what her name is, but she looks like a Sylvia Hernandez.
Not to change the subject,
But that's the second time you said that today.
No, seriously. Magic's your delta is on the wrong side.
Yeah, but he's just trying not to conflict with the logo.
Could see it.
Oh my gosh.
You have to leave a place for it on the
But it's
shirt.
not canon.
Because my microphone is
The
covering
next-
the one that's on the shirt.
I know.
The next batch of shirts that we print will have the words on the other side. That way the Delta...
No, I think I'm going to eventually move my microphone to the other side. I may
You're going to do a overhaul?
Yeah, I did an overhaul to clean, but now I'm thinking about doing an overhaul to do camera replacements.
I would love to see your setup. How it compares to Tom's.
Nothing. It's nothing. Nowhere near the same.
Looks good from here.
That's
On
because
this
you're
side.
seeing a corner of a wall in the back of my chair.
It's all
Looked good.
It's called a facade.
Yeah. I'm
that's all it
don't
takes.
want to put up my stands with my green screens that I used to have, or my Doctor Who exploding TARDIS blanket up to act as a
Wow.
background.
Like to see that.
That used to be his
Nope.
background when we did Technically Unsound. I don't even think we were called Technically Unsound. We were called like the M3 podcast or
We were
something.
the Rumble, the M3s.
the
whole-
final episode.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
We were once called the final episode because like it was going to be our last episode, but then we went again.
Oh no! So what it was is we were gonna change the name. Like we had gone through this iteration. I was like the last one standing. Like Joey wasn't there anymore. Cremo wasn't there anymore. Mike, I don't think Mike was even in it. But it was like, all right, we're gonna go away from this other pod. Actually, Mike was in it because him and Joey would get into it.
Oh yeah. They had their
we're
own
like-
thing going, remember?
we were like
how to make a
when they
podcast or something.
split off to do behind the podcast or whatever, the making of the podcast. We're like, all right, well, we're gonna cancel this and we're gonna create our own new one. This is our final episode as this podcast, the Rumble or the M3. And then we did another one. We're like, all right, this is gonna be our final one as this. And then
But we
we just
kept
changed
going.
the name to the final the M3,
Every
the final
episode, we would open it up saying, all right, guys, this is our final
This is
episode.
the final episode. Like
So we
20
just changed our name to the final episode.
I would love to see your first podcast that you guys have ever done.
Oh, man, it's probably out there somewhere. You know how the internet is.
Tom's got them saved on his computer.
I got them somewhere.
Actually,
That'd be interesting.
All right, so we talked about how the Borg only send one ship. Like you see episodes of Voyager where you see Borg cubes flying in herds. And that's why. But maybe that's because it's the Delta Quadrant and that's their home base.
Delta Quadrant. Those are Those are all cubes that are going to the transport facilities. So someone explained. I've seen this before. And this is kind of where the tie into the movies and whatnot kind of throws a monkey wrench in it. Is that they say that they're recon ships, they're early scouting ships, and that there are some planets and races that take a little bit more to fight, to take over. And that's why they only sent one. But then the question is, if we take First Contact as canon and that signal went out, even if we don't take it as canon, let's say that never happened and somehow the Borg were here from decades before and Archer ran into them, that again is someone else contacted the Borg before Picard did. They would already know this is a formidable planet.
Right.
Send more than one ship out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even after Wolf 359, they know that, all right, this is a formidable opponent. Let's at least send two.
And I think the problem is with that is the partial of the arrogance that Chief Scott mentions is that they were saying, okay, we got to use some weapons. We see they're using this and we're used to. It's almost like we were too dumb and slow for their high-tech world.
Well, and that's their mentality is they are far superior. We are inferior.
Right, but their shields couldn't stop a bullet. And we actually see this across several shows. You literally see it in Stargate.
Right.
Where you have people with shields.
Oh, shit.
It doesn't know to block physical contact through.
Chief Scott said feed is real glitchy.
Through that shield. Yeah, the Twitch feed is a little glitchy. And YouTube, I have them side by side. Looks a little glitchy as well.
Well, we just had a hiccup.
Oh, okay. That would
but we're back now. But before that, we hadn't dropped any frames or anything. So we were, according to my stats, we were good up until about 40 seconds ago, and then we had one.
So when I start talking is when it fucks up.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's the arrogance of they were like, okay, well they got these. I mean, the other thing was this. Why didn't we resort to chemical warfare?
Because of the Geneva Convention.
You're talking about with the Borg?
Geneva, against the Borg. Yeah. Okay. So you can't. So Data was like, hey, this standard thing that is in our engines every day can melt the biochemicals of the Borg.
Yeah.
And they can deflect our our phasers now and everything else, but we can sometimes transport something in. Why didn't they just transport in a torpedo with that gas or whatever in it and then destroy all the bio mass that's in there? Because Borg are required bio people to Borgify, basically. So if they don't have that, they're just half-assed Terminators. Why didn't we resort to that? And then this happened in First Contact. Why is it not pushed out to other places that deal with the Borg going forward?
Well, it's like that episode I, Borg, with the first one where we meet Hugh, and then there's that face-to-face. Like, this is one where they bring Hugh on board, and then Geordi starts talking to Hugh and actually starts to like him. They become friends almost. And Guinan's like, how dare you? Like, this is a creature that nearly, like, they've destroyed our planet and, wiped out tons of species and civilizations, and now you're saying that you're going to be friends with it? And Geordi said, I don't know what to tell you. Why don't you just go spend some time with them? Go hang out with them for 5 minutes. And so Guinan spends 5 minutes with Hugh, and she's like, oh, well, he seems like a pretty nice guy, actually.
I don't know what it is, but he's different.
And then she goes to Picard because this is what I was getting to. Data comes up with this puzzle that he thinks he can implant into the Borg consciousness, and it's like this shape, I guess, that is not possible. It's like a shape that the Borg, their processing would like go into this overheating mode because they couldn't figure out the dimensions of some shape or something. And so Picard's like, yeah, we're gonna implant this virus into Hugh, and then when he goes back and plugs into the collective, it'll basically destroy the entire collective. And Guinan's like, I don't think you should destroy Hugh. I don't think you should do that to Hugh. He seems like a nice guy, and then Guinan's like, don't you think he's a nice guy? And Picard's like, I don't know. I haven't talked to him. And then she's like, why not? And so that's when Picard has that face-to-face with Hugh. And that's actually a good
you were
scene.
Locutus. Yes, I am.
Yeah, he's like, why are you here?
My question is this. Why doesn't Picard just rep that every time he goes against the Borg? Like, once you're in transmission range, I would straight up be like, yo, this is Locutus. What's good,
Lower
bro?
your shields.
Yeah. Lower. I'm Locutus. Stop. You know me. That's a flex. Why would Picard not flex that every single time he runs into the Borg? I don't know.
I wonder if Starfleet has some form of the Geneva Convention.
They do.
They do, but it has nothing to do with the Borg. You can't use chemical weapons on Vulcans or the Romulans, but it's the Borg.
The Borg,
they don't give a
fuck. Remember the founders, right? They planted the disease in Odo to take back to the Great Link.
And they did that like 2 years before. Because I just finished DS9. They did that 2 years before the Dominion was even a thing. They were like, oh, Odo realized he's not alone. Well, just in case something happens, we're going to go ahead and infect you, and then we will trigger it later on if need be.
They need be.
It's kind of like Batman infecting Cyborg the first day that they met.
Oh,
just in case.
You should remember this episode. The episode where they find this planet that has their distant relatives on it.
Which one?
Because like there's an O'Brien, there's a Dax.
Yes. I like that episode.
That episode's really good. It's got the guy from like what was that show called? The OC, like the dad.
So
Marissa's dad.
That is a planet that had some weird harmonic with the shields, and Dax is the one that fucks it up because like, well, we could just go through here just a little bit, and then they end up crashing, and it's literally like a warp copy of themselves took place in the atmosphere.
What episode was that?
It's like season 523.
Yeah,
it's a good episode though. It's called like the Children of Time or something. Children of Destiny. Yeah. I forgot.
All of Worf's people are all off to the side and whatnot.
They're all like, "We are the sons of Moog."
Yeah, and like everyone's a Miles or a Shannon or something.
O'Brien hooks up with like Rita Tannenbaum or something. Like they say O'Brien holds off the longest before he finally takes on a new love. But he finally gets him a new girl. But the cool character is Odo, because he learns how to transform better over the 200 years.
Right.
And so he just looks like his normal self.
That's also a cheat episode where they're like, oh, Kira finds out how he feels because Odo is like, I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you anyway.
Yeah, but Odo is really cool in his 200 years in the future, as he's, I guess it's technically, he's 200 years older, put it that way. But he's a much cooler guy. He's like more carefree, and yeah, he's just telling his feelings to Kira, not giving a shit, and she likes him. I mean, like, they have their moments.
It's basically off and popping after that.
Yeah.
That was kind of the first sign that I was like, oh, this series is going to end soon, because, or either that or one of them's going to die.
Yeah.
Because this was like real, they did this long drawn out OC-ish storyline of will they, won't they? And then they're like, okay, yeah, we're just going to wrap that up and we're going to get it done. And I was like, okay. And then like 2 episodes later, they're arguing. It's like, well, you're just trying to say I just kiss you now? They're like, well, yeah. And then after that, it's off and popping.
Well, what's crazy is that they all eventually agree that the best thing to do is recreate the accident, you know, so that they crash land, you know, because if they don't, when they leave this planet, if they don't crash land again, then the whole cycle ends. And I guess what started with 48 people on the Defiant that crashed on this planet ends up being 8,000 people. Like over 200 years, they become 8,000 people just from the 48 that crash landed. So they must have been getting busy. They say it only
takes 21 or 27
to create a society.
To start a new society, yeah.
Yeah, but and so everybody interacts with these people for a few days, and there's all these children, and you know, everybody's just becoming like acquainted with their distant relatives, and they're like, you know, maybe we should crash land, because if they don't crash land, the whole timeline is destroyed. So none of those 8,000 people will ever exist if they don't crash again, if they don't go through that anomaly. And so they're all ready to do it. Like they program the Defiant, you know, so that they hit the anomaly and they hit the distortion field or whatever, and they're going to crash land and go back 200 years in the past. But the Odo from that timeline reprograms the Defiant so that it avoids it. And because he, I guess he didn't want Kira, because Kira ends up dying in that timeline.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't want to have to see you die all over again.
Yeah. So that she can live, he lets those 8,000 people die. And that's a pretty, like, that's deep. Like when you think about that, like one person's life versus the value of 8,000 people. Where do you stand on that?
I got to watch that. I've never watched all the episodes of DS9.
But would you let 8,000 people die for one true love? Or would you let your one true love die? So it's literally, so I'll make it simple. This is your one true love. If this one true love dies, you will never be the same again, and you will never love anyone like that ever again. Ever. Period. You'll never receive the love. You'll never give the love. Would you save that not. One person, or let 8,000 strangers who were never meant to be die?
I let the 8,000 strangers die.
Damn, you cold.
Damn.
I know.
Cold.
You gangsta.
He's a Romulan.
He's a Gem Hadar.
Gem hater.
Gem hater. All right, I watched a TNG episode.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, we still on that?
What about you?
What would I do?
Yeah, you letting them all die, or
yeah,
you like,
I think I'm letting them all die.
Okay. You would. Yeah, that's cool.
You know why? Because you know what? Do they die? There's no evidence that they die. Well, I guess there is at the end when they fly away.
And the planet is, and they scan.
Yeah, they scan. There's no life on the planet.
What would you do, Mgyx?
Crash. Sons of mother.
Advance. What was my life like up until that point?
Yeah, well, no kidding.
And what's Rita Tannenbaum look like?
What the fuck is Rita Tannenbaum?
That's who Chief O'Brien hooked up with.
Oh. No, I would probably let him die because, plausibility. Barry went there once. That means there's probably somebody else who could have thought about. My thing was this: and this was the technical thing on this. I actually fell asleep. I literally paused the episode because I was going to talk about it on the show when I watched it. And it's all coming back to me now that I don't know why I didn't write down. So you went from 48 people to 8,000, which means you went through several generations of people. And I get that. That's enough generational people that have the ability to use science to their advantage to build another ship to leave the planet.
I mean, plus they have a crashed Defiant.
The Defiant was irreparable. That was
no, but I mean, at least, but they have the technology, like the blueprint of it.
They had the blueprints. They have raw materials that you literally could have pulled.
They got LCARs.
You literally could have pulled a Voyager and made a Delta Flyer to leave the planet.
They might have even had replicators.
They did. They had.
Yep.
So the question is, why didn't they use any of that? They had engine components, so it's not like they had to replicate that. I mean, you had remaining dilithium because that's what powered the ship. Why, over the course of 8 generations, and I'm assuming it's more than 8 because if you went to 8,000 people, that's 1,000 years apiece.
200 years.
Why did you not make machinery to leave the planet?
Well, plus you got O'Brien, you got Dax, you got people who aren't just going to give up. Like those people would have found a way to get back to their timeline.
Right. You have people that have families that they wanted to get back to. You have people that have science. You got an
O'Brien wouldn't have given up.
Department.
Yeah.
That was working on the engine of the Defiant. You got weapons specialists.
You got the knowledge of Dax, like generations of knowledge, hundreds of years of knowledge.
Yeah. Why did no one ever?
Someone would have figured out a way.
Even if you did it, and let's say your first generation, your present generation, you say, hey, everybody's injured. We just need to build survival. We start popping out kids. Once those kids come out, why didn't they be like, hey, grandpa, grandma, how do I do this? Why didn't they use the database in Defiant to be like, hey, why don't we just make a little shuttle to go up? Why didn't we make a single man rocket in a cylinder? You have raw materials on the planet. You have ore there that you can mine and refine and make your own. Okay, you didn't do that in the first couple of generations, but you're talking like 10 generations later, no one decided to leave the planet, yet everyone knew you were not from that planet. You're from a spaceship. No one thought, let's make another spaceship.
I guess they just accepted it.
And you also have the knowledge of the database, which is obviously going to have human history to realize that humans started out.
It's just not realistic that they would have given up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have found a way. Like,
even if it was to send up, even if it was to send up a probe with a distress signal.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, actually they were in
200 years in the past.
No, they were 200 years in the future.
No. They crashed. They went through an anomaly that sent them 200 years in the past.
Which was
that was part of
years in their future. Because how did you get 8,000 people in the past?
Well, no. The 8,000 people have just because 200 years have passed.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. The original crew went into the future.
No. The original crew. So pretend like all three of us go on an airplane and we go 200 years in the past and we crash on an island, right? We crash on an island in 1825.
What island?
So we crash on an island in 1825 with like 10 women. And we end up creating after 200 years, we create a society of 2,000 people.
That would mean that when we crash, there would be 10,000 people there.
No, there was no people. There was just us 8 people, like us 3 and 10 women. I guess that's 13.
Right. So that is your primary timeline.
So in 1825, we started with 13 people. And in 2025, when they find us, we find ourselves, but because we've died, right? Because it's 200 years, our present people in 2025 find our descendants.
Yes, that's
our great grandchildren.
With timeline. That's the problem. You're mixing genealogy with timeline. You landed in your own future because you've died and you're looking at your descendants, which means that you had to have lived, knocked somebody up, popped out some kids, and they popped out kids.
What button?
That is their future.
Oh.
Anyway, irrelevant. The thing is still,
it was a good episode, though.
You still have the ability. Hell, you got photon torpedoes. You got phasers.
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't they take
your
that
weapons?
Off
right.
And send those up as a blast whatever's in the way, and then send up a homing beacon or a distress signal.
Yep.
The only thing is that they were in the gamma quadrant. Or they were at the edge of the gamma quadrant, near the wormhole. But even so, if you sent that out, knowing that you're from your own present timeline, you're going to trigger some runabouts to go look. Those runabouts would have picked up the signal.
But ultimately, this was all Dax's fault because she's the one that discovered this planet. And
this is why Dax died.
Yeah, Dax said, there is some kind of a spatial anomaly in the atmosphere, but we should be able to safely pass through it. So because of Dax, she creates that whole cycle, I guess. But it doesn't. But she ends up costing 8,000 people. See, so the question is, if Dax didn't do that, if Dax doesn't ever convince them to go to the planet, does the accident ever happen to begin with?
Dun, dun, dun. Timelines.
Paradox.
See, this is why I like Star Trek. These questions here.
Yeah. All right. One other episode I watched. Well, I watched some good ones in TNG, like Parallels, the one where Worf keeps shifting through different versions of himself. Yeah.
Oh, after he comes back from the Batleth tournament?
Yes, and all the Enterprises appear.
So this is that episode. Remember a while back
where Riker is captain.
This episode. This is the one where I had a weird dream about that. All of them. Hold on. I literally wrote this down.
Worf is married to Deanna in multiple timelines. And in one of them, him and Deanna got a bunch of kids.
So in my dream I had with this storyline became how Star Trek went, and it turned into a movie where Picard was hiding this aspect to everyone. He convinced all the other Picards that, hey, this is we gotta prevent our crews from leaving our enterprises. We gotta let them know that we're trapped. If people go willy-nilly, it's gonna be chaos. And then the Rikers were like, no, we can't live in this time, because they started going through a time loop where every 24 hours reset. And the Picards knew the truth. They were trapped in a bubble.
Oh, that's your dream.
Yeah, that they were trapped in a bubble, and all these different variations of enterprises were all trapped in the bubble. If you left, you died. Your entire crew died. And the Picards knew the truth, and the Riker slowly started finding out and was like, you can't keep this away from people. You got to let people know the truth and give them a choice. And they're like, no, because every day the timeline resets when Worf goes through this. So we always have to be ready. It was kind of like a 51st dates type thing. Like it reset every day, every time Worf came back. And then one or two of the Rikers found a way to extend the day. So instead of it resetting at midnight, it would reset at 12:05. And then it slowly went to 12:07. And they started entrusting other Rikers. And there were literally thousands of enterprises with different lives, different positions. One where Picard's literally just like a yeoman and somebody else is a captain. But then it turns into a big ass battle between the Rikers and Picards, because the Rikers are like, yo, you guys reset every day. We've been going on a week now and we haven't reset. So we think that there's a way we can all get out of these bubbles and get back to our real lives. And one of the Picards was like, no, you cannot do it. You shall not pass. And he blows up his Enterprise, which causes a chain reaction. It takes out like 20% of the Enterprises there. And when that happens, another time bubble opens and more Enterprises start popping out with wars. I was like, oh my God, this would have been an awesome episode or an awesome movie to have had. But I was like, I don't know how I'd make this. That's when I started really lucid dreaming. And I was like, I just woke up because I gave myself a headache. I was like, I can't think about this plot point anymore in timelines and parallel universes. But there was one where Beverly hooked up with Worf. And Wesley and Worf had or not Wesley and Worf, but Beverly and Worf hooked up, had a kid. And that, because Wesley was having to babysit, but the kid grew up at such a rate that within like 10 years, he was the same height as Wesley and along the same intelligence level, because Beverly has some weird thing with her brain. But yeah. That was the episode. That is a great episode, though.
But Parallels. Have you rewatched Parallels? That's a good one. There's another one. I can't think of the name of it. Let me see if maybe I took a note of the name of the episode. But it's an episode of TNG where they come across a planet, and the planet has signs that there was civilization, but it's all been destroyed. And they end up sensing like 2 life forms, they think. And so they go down to the planet, and it's this old man and this old woman. And they live in this house, and it's got a nice yard, and the whole planet's been destroyed except for this house. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, except for this house and their yard. And the old lady's very nice. And there's an old man named Kevin. And they go down there, and that she offers to make them tea, and Picard and I think Riker, they go down at different times, but they try to convince these people, hey, you got to leave this planet because you're in danger. Like, this alien race could come back and try to kill you. But mostly they're trying to figure out, why did your house not get destroyed?
Because they have blue paint on the roof.
Blue paint on the roof. But it turns out when what happens is every time they leave the house and go back to the Enterprise, a warship comes and chases them off. It's like this warship, and they can't damage it or anything. It's like indestructible. They can't catch it. They can't shoot it. And so every time they go down and try to convince them to leave, that ship comes and it tries to scare them off, I guess. Well, eventually Picard says, something's weird. We're not leaving. Let's just go down, and we're going to just talk this out with these people. Like, they think that these people have something to do with like the whole planet. Maybe they weren't the ones to do it, but there's something going on, right? Because these people did not get destroyed with the rest of their planet. And so eventually they just beam them up to the Enterprise. They beam this man and this lady up, these old people. And it turns out that the lady, the wife, is already dead. And the guy is like this very powerful being. This guy, Kevin, he calls himself a Dowd. And he's recreated her just because he's alone. So, he recreated his wife to keep him company. But yeah, he says that he does not harm people. Like he's got this, he took a vow not to kill, not to harm anybody. All he did was protect his land. He didn't even protect his wife. You know, like all the people in the planet were killed. His wife was even killed. And he said that, and so he said, he was on the bridge of the Enterprise and he was telling them like, I killed them. And they're like, well, I mean, yeah, you were upset, you know, like they killed your wife. He's like, no, you don't understand what I'm saying. I killed the Husnak. Like they don't exist anymore. He's like, the entire species everywhere in the universe is gone. I destroyed them all. And then Picard says, well, nothing we can do about it. So we're just going to go on about our business.
Oh, you have a good one.
Yeah, you know,
See ya.
that's their bad. They shouldn't have messed with your wife.
I think I remember that episode, but I don't remember all the details of it. That again, that's a really good episode.
Yeah, that's a good episode because you're like, what is going on? Like there's this, you know, like you don't know what's happening, but then eventually you start catching these clues
Piecing it together.
Yeah. But at the very end, the guy's just like, look, they killed my wife and I had a moment of rage and I just killed them. You can let that yawn out if you want.
All right.
See, you're doing that weird thing.
Oh my god!
You're trying to hold it in with your jaw, hold your jaw closed.
No, it's going.
Wait, are you talking to him or to me?
To you, to you.
PVGs.
To you,
Oh,
man.
I just literally did the same thing.
Trying to bite down on a yawn.
I don't know. I just kind of just open my mouth a little bit and just kind of try and
He's like-
keep it stuck in one area. And like,
It's
Yeah.
9:18 p.m. Central.
I've been up. What time did you get up today?
Oh man, 6 o'clock.
Oh, I was up at like 4:45. I don't know how I do it. Patty doesn't either.
I don't.
How I can wake up at like 4.
so for those watching that were also on the stream last night, I told you his ass was awake. That was him. That was not a scheduled upload.
No, I don't trust scheduled uploads.
I think I got up around 11.
Did you take a nap during the day? No.
I didn't go to bed till like 5:30 though this morning. So context.
All right. This episode, before we wrap up, this episode should be fresh in your mind. It's
Hold
an
on.
episode.
Are we going through the rest of the slides and everything else though? Because we haven't touched on any of that.
Yeah. Are we done?
There's no slides. Oh, hold on.
What?
I'm lying.
You have no slides, no trivia,
I'm lying.
No,
I lied.
no.
What is going on here?
Nothing?
No, you know, I told you she's retiring.
This is what Mgyx and me wait for all week.
23 years ago, as of yesterday, Star Trek Nemesis was released. Can you believe it's been 23 years?
Unbelievable.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna show you something here. I'm gonna say a date range. You immediately think of what year I'm guessing. 30 years ago.
Michael
Don't add it
Jackson.
up. Where does your mind go when somebody says 30 years ago? Where does your mind go?
That's
Do you
too
go to
long.
the 70s, to the 80s, or do you
I
go
wouldn't
to the
say
actual
79.
30 years ago?
Don't stop till you get enough.
Never mind.
I say 79, 1979.
Don't stop till you get
So
enough.
there you go. That's what I'm talking about. So 30 years ago, you immediately go back to 1979. I go back to like the 80s, which is not 30 years ago.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah. So when you see this and you're like premiered 23 years ago, and I'm like, what? I thought that came out 95, 20s.
Yes.
And you're like, oh shit, we're 2025. It's already 25.
Well, yeah,
years
because that would be
past
2002. It's crazy to even think 23 years ago was in the 2000s.
It feels like
Right.
yesterday.
So I watched the video the other day. They were like, what age do you say you're old? Like at what age? Like back in when we were in our 20s, you would say, how old would you say someone would you be like, yeah, that dude's old? What age
40,
would you think of?
40.
Right. So now the thing is, you're old if your birth year is then starts with 19.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We used to when we were DJing, me and Tom Grandstaff, there was this other DJ. His name was JP the DJ. He was in his 40s, and we would clown this dude. We like this old ass dude trying to DJ. But now, I mean, it's like I'm DJing in my 50s.
You're the old ass DJ now.
Yeah.
Hey, you are now officially the over the hill DJ.
But see, the problem is there's no young DJs around here.
That's because they don't care.
Well, because they got
The one that
Spotify.
posted the video where the guy was like, "Hey, if someone's scratching, you're ruining the song. Like if you're a DJ and you're playing and you're doing scratches and juggles, you're ruining our song." And they were like, it was young people.
Crewman
like,
Sherry's got a question for you, by the way.
Remember when
PBG.
we were going to party like it's 1999? Yes, I was on Mill Avenue.
Do you like a pizza from Mike's place? Where is
Definitely.
Where's that at?
Summerfield.
Oh, see? PBG knows what's up. We had some. She brought some last night.
Ah,
It was good. It was cheesy.
Crewman Sherry, why are you not in the chair over there?
We got off-camera chairs. We got on-camera chairs. All kinds of chairs.
I'd love to see you there.
Collider. This is a story from Collider. It's hard to be excited about Starfleet Academy when the Star Trek franchise is struggling. And do we agree that the Star Trek franchise began to struggle with the Kelvin verse? Is that when it started to take a nosedive?
No, because I really think that could have carried us through.
The Kelvin
The
verse?
Kelvin universe was our Avengers. I honestly feel that way. The Kelvin universe was our next set of Avengers because TNG's movies were good, but they were carrying on the original series. The Kelvin universe brought in a new, fresh, new faces, a new filming ability, kind of a new storyline, like an old story told in a new way. They could have rocked that. They could have literally done 10 years worth of Kelvin universe movies, and that would have brought us into a new era. But they didn't. And I think that's what fucked it up, is the fact that they stopped. Even to this day, like a couple of months ago, I think you posted it here, they were talking about, a lot of the actors were like, yeah, let's do this. But now they're getting to that age, like you can't logically age us into this anymore. Like we're our old characters. It's not like before you can be like, oh, they've been gone on a 5-year mission. Now they're back. It's been 15 years, I think, if not more. Actually, it's probably been more like 10. Like you can't put that in anymore. And now you got the newbies.
Next week, I'm going to take screenshots of our YouTube analytics and show the age ranges of the people who watch the videos.
Now, why are you going to show that? Why are you going to show that?
You got to change this blue light. It's making my hair look like...
Nah, you look like that dude who talks about 3-Eye Atlas.
Crewman Sherry, I'll see what I can do. It'll be warmer next week.
Yeah. He'll have a lot of ball warmth.
Oh, my.
No, so... all right, let's go to the next slide.
Well, hold on. Do you feel that it started with the Kelvin timeline?
I didn't hate the Kelvin movies.
It wasn't that
like
bad.
them.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it this way. The Kelvin movies are the first Star Trek movies I actually bought.
100%.
Like all the other ones I acquired These I actually paid for. Like literally, I went to Apple and I paid $25 for that movie, and then I went to every other service that was attached to it and used that code and redeemed it. So I was like, I'm never gonna lose this movie. And I did the same thing with the next two. I own
100%.
all three movies in digital format on multiple platforms. I never did that once with next generation movies, and definitely not in TOS movies.
True. Oh, by the way, I got a Blu-ray ripper. So you're probably yeah.
Awesome.
So I've posted some shorts today that I've ripped with the Blu-ray ripper. So I've got the Star Trek TOS. Like I did a couple with not Nurse Rand, Yeoman Rand, where the one where Charlie is
I
trying
saw
to
that.
grab her by the throat and she slaps him and he vaporizes her. And then there's another one where there was like Evil Kirk. He's in that transporter accident with the yellow powder, and he has like a dark spell, and he's waiting for Yeoman Rand in her room, and she's like, "Oh, Captain, can I help you?" He's like, "Jim will do."
Oh yeah.
Jim will do.
Crewman Sherry has a great suggestion. She would think that we should take Star Trek images and have a caption this competition.
There you go. That
I
would
think
work.
that would be awesome
Yeah.
to do.
We kind of did that before.
No, we didn't.
Not really. You're right.
No, not at all.
Well, let's get to the next phase. Oh, but let me finish my thought. I actually enjoyed all of the Kelvin movies. I enjoyed
Oh, she says if it's greenlit, she'll put it together.
the 2009 Star Trek.
Did you see what Crewman Sherry said?
I can see it and hear.
Awesome.
He's just ignoring it.
Well, no, it's been
Sherry,
acknowledged. It's been acknowledged.
Crewman Sherry,
Magic's
I'm going to go ahead
acknowledged
and
it.
greenlight that for
Yeah.
you.
Fascinating.
If you could put that together as a small little PowerPoint.
Magic's
never
greenlit.
bluff.
We're all equal players here. We can greenlight stuff. I like 2009 Star Trek, Chris Pine. I even liked the Star Trek Into Darkness. I like that
Wrath the Khan Part 2.
because I liked having Spock chase down Khan, and then that whole big crashing of the what ship was that? The Pythagorean or whatever on the Earth. It crashed in San Francisco. What ship was
Yes.
that? I can't think of the name. Prometheus. Was that the name of the ship?
I don't know.
Well, it was the Section 31 ship. And then
Leviathan?
Star Trek Beyond.
Leviathan? No.
Star Trek Beyond was good. I mean, I think that was really
liked
good. So I know there's a lot of criticism. And there's a lot of criticism about the new Trek, Discovery. Okay, Discovery was pretty bad. Strange New Worlds is decent. It's probably 3 out of 5 stars. Discovery is probably 2 out of 5 stars. Strange New Worlds probably 3 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5.
Picard I liked Picard. I would probably say Picard is 4 out of 5 stars.
I agree.
3.5 out of 5.
No, because if you average the season, season one,
season 2.
season 2 was
dumb.
bad. But I mean, season 1 I would have given a 4. Season 2 I would have given a 2. But season 3 I would have given that 5 out of 5.
That's what I'm saying. That equates to 3.5 stars. That's what I see it as. But I have a question. Just looking at the image that's on the screen right now, are you going to watch that? And somebody tells
I'm
you, hey, this
watching it.
is a Star Trek show, and that's all you have is that image. Would you
Listen.
watch it?
I'm going to watch it cautiously. But what if we all just lower our expectations, right? What's that? What's the saying about any port in the storm? We're in a storm, damn it. Star Trek people, this is a storm. Starfleet Academy is any port in the storm. We need to dock and we need to get some sustenance. All right?
I mean, it looks like they took a throwaway from CSI Miami, the dude from...
and it's about time we represent the Downs community in a Star Trek.
What was the movie with Mouse, the dancer? The dancing movies? Crap. It's not...
Moose. Moose.
Yeah.
Step
you got
Up.
The Moose. Yeah, you got the Step Up cast, or you got the
Moose in
CSI
the back
Miami.
with Afro puffs.
Right. And then you got the Munchichi, little black girl in the back there. And then you got what I'm going to assume is the dude that is unsure of his nature.
Wait, you're talking about the one on the left?
This unsure of his nature, or he's the white collar kid. Actually, I'm going to say he's the white collar kid. He looks very preppy, like his parents put him in private school.
He's the one who's not sure of his sexuality.
Yes, and that's why I said he's unsure of his nature. But he's also the all-American kid. Then you got the Munchichi, who does look a little downish, which is sad to say, but
represent. I'm down with the down community.
The picture doesn't do her justice. And then you got moves from the Step Up movies, and then you got the CSI Miami throwaway.
Right. Yeah, so I mean,
we were all wearing baseball or /hockey equipment with reflective Starfleet emblems painted on them. Which leads me to wonder, if you have armor, if this is supposed to be combat armor, why do you have reflective emblems on your shoulders and on your chest? So people can automatically see where to shoot your arm off, or just shoot you dead by shooting you in the middle of the chest. That's for laser tag. That's not a good tactical decision.
That's like the emblem on Batman. You know, he's got that big yellow.
But that's not reflective. Oh, no. You're thinking Adam West Batman.
No, and I mean Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh, that is true. He had the little tiny one there as well.
This was an article. This was an article I pulled off of one of my Google alerts. The top 3 Star Trek shows if you're trying to get a new person into Trek. Do we agree with this? I kind of agree with this, actually. I might flip Strange New Worlds and Enterprise, actually. I think Strange New Worlds is going to draw new people in because it's got all the flair. And then Enterprise, I think Archer is kind of like get your feet wet into the old prequel world. And then Star Trek Next Generation, you got to be deep. I think you got to be deep into Trek before you watch TNG.
I'm good with this. Enterprise, it goes because it's chronological.
Yeah.
Me too.
Our Enterprise goes with Archer. New Worlds goes with Pike. You literally skip Kirk and go straight to Picard.
Yeah.
I'm good with this.
I'm okay with this.
I think
because I think if you put Strange New Worlds first, you're basically being given cocaine and candy, and then
some people need that though. Some people need that. They need the kick.
Yeah, but then you're going through what 4 seasons of Strange New Worlds, and then you're giving dull. Granted, the graphics were a bit better than TNG, but it's still dull compared to Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. Yeah, and the graphics, see, the problem is the fancy graphics doesn't make up for good storytelling.
Right. I agree.
You know, it's like the graphics can be great, but if your story sucks, then the show is still going to suck. But if you have a good story, having not so good graphics isn't so bad. Sometimes it's a distraction, But if the story is good, it's still going to hold up. But before we wrap, I was going to do a quick commentary because I was scrolling through TikTok, and this girl had posted like she would like to see this show called Star Trek Janeway. And I'm thinking, I was going to leave a comment, but I don't do that kind of stuff. But, this is the little cutie, Linda Pages. She's like the little young Janeway. She looks like Janeway. Like Janeway when she was 19.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. She's a little cutie, but come on, girl. Janeway, we ain't trying to watch a show about Janeway. I don't even want to see a prequel about Janeway. I just want to move on. Can we just get to... like 25th century.
Doesn't do anything for me.
I mean, unless you're going to bring someone in to play Janeway that's like, it don't even matter really.
Yeah.
Like Janeway in the Academy or like, what are we trying to see here?
I don't care who you put in there.
Yeah, like Janeway after Voyager. But the problem is Janeway's too old now and she got all big and everything. And it's like no one wants to see Janeway. I mean, we respect Janeway. Janeway liked coffee, yes,
She did what she did, and that's good, Good as it gets.
Plus, actually, Janeway after Voyager, well, I don't even know what happens. Time conundrums.
No, I don't want to see it.
Okay, so we're in agreement. We don't want to see a show called Star Trek Voyager. Sorry, Linda. You're cute, but sorry.
Well, hold on. I didn't say I didn't want to see Voyager. Voyager has some good stories in it. I don't want to see a Janeway-centered Star Trek.
What do you want to see?
If they had done a Janeway-centered Star Trek back in Voyager days, sure. But I know what
it was called Voyager.
Looks like now, and I don't want to see it. The only way, here is the only way that I would watch that show is Kate Mulgrew would have to be acting from a wheelchair in some hospice, and she's retelling the story.
That's what she's in. Yeah.
Through a third party, and then you put a younger Janeway. But then the problem you're still going to have is we know how this younger Janeway is, and we didn't like the older Janeway.
True that.
We don't want to watch her go from cool to shitty, or just start out shitty and stay shitty.
I don't even know how they're going to do hologram Janeway. Like unless it's animated, like in Prodigy.
Yeah.
I mean, Prodigy was cool having hologram Janeway, but you can't do that unless it's animated. You can't do Janeway anymore. Janeway's too old.
What if it's AI?
Unfortunately, the studios have aged out most of the actors.
I mean,
come back
Voyager's
and do anything
30 years ago, so it's done.
Unbelievable. It's that old. I mean,
you don't believe it?
No, it's to me personally. It's just,
and we know that. And
you're
so
old.
One of the things that we had talked about,
unbelievable.
We had talked about on the show was if Academy was taking place after Picard, and it's not. It's taking place after Discovery.
But
so
we used
all
to
of these
talk
people
about
are
this.
Dead.
We used to talk.
Doctor.
20 years ago, we said, damn, they should have a show called Starfleet Academy.
Yes.
20 years ago, it would have been great because 20 years ago was before the woke mind virus and all the crazy, weird stuff.
And all the actors that we wanted to see on there could play themselves.
And every other character wouldn't have been a Tran.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm okay with not having a Janeway show.
And 20 years ago, we wanted Wesley Crusher to be in the Starfleet Academy show when he was younger.
Right. Right.
Because he could literally age with the
he
show.
could have aged into something better.
You literally could have taken Wesley from what you saw him as in TNG, and you could have ended up what you see in Wesley or Will Wheaton in Big Bang Theory.
It would have been
basically
beautiful.
a mini Riker.
I got an idea for the writers of Starfleet Academy. I know it's too late. A child Q. That shit would have been crazy to have at Starfleet Academy a Q.
What do you mean by child? Like toddler?
No, like a teenager. You know, like
teenage Q.
You know, like a 19-year-old Q going through Starfleet Academy would have been crazy.
He'd have to be a half Q. I don't think you can make him be a full Q. You got to be half Q.
I don't know, but as long as he had the,
I don't know. I work it up.
because think about how much fun that would be if you were a Q. They should just have a show called Star Trek Q, and it's about a 19-year-old Q, and he's just like exploring the universe.
I work at a school, so that could be really jacked up.
Hey, don't talk about your school, man.
No.
It's dangerous.
I don't know how you would do that though. Like, because he could just snap his finger.
What if he just kept it a secret? Oh,
you have to
secret
put a
identity.
limitation.
Secret identity.
Well, that's fine, but you have to put some limitation on his powers. Otherwise, he could just negate every situation. You literally run into the Superman problem.
That's right. It would be like Smallville. It would be like Smallville.
No, not Smallville was a 10-year run show.
No, but I'm saying the Q would do things in the way that Clark Kent had to do them.
Like Bewitched?
No. Bewitched. What?
Old as shit,
Bewitched.
man.
What the hell? How does Bewitched cross into Smallville?
I don't know, dude.
Do you know Smallville?
What?
Smallville.
Yes.
Okay. I was just making sure because you said Bewitched. I didn't know.
That's not Smallville, bro. I don't know. It could be done. You got to put some stipulations on it.
All right, I'm gonna go have ChatGPT write the script.
I spoke to John Schneider in person, and we were at a thing in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I asked John. I said, "Are you going to go back to go back to Smallville?" And he said, "Well," and this was after.
Was it during Smallville?
Yeah,
the show was still active.
Yeah, it was
Dang,
still,
what was that, like 20 years ago?
Yeah, at least.
Holy cow.
And then he says, "I'm still waiting for them to call." And that was it.
Oh, you were a good luck charm.
He was promoting a movie.
Did he get the call?
No, he never did.
Oh, then you're not a good luck charm. No. Sorry about that, John.
Nice guy, though. Great guy.
Yeah.
You got the call.
Did you show him your kit?
No.
Oh. Do you have a General Lee?
I do not.
What else do you have besides kit?
Just kit.
Got the A-Team van.
No. Back then, I was in Little Rock, Arkansas. It was in October, and I was cosplaying as Batman. And there was a parade. And
were you the only Batman there?
I was the only Batman there.
Holy cow.
There was also Darth Vader, and we were supposed to lead.
Do you still have the Batman suit?
I do. More like Fat Man.
You should wear it next week.
No.
Don't ask him to do that.
No. I'll send you slides. I can show you.
Wait, you just said you sent him a slide? God damn. What year was this? 1960? Taking slides.
Send me some microfish.
It was good.
Yeah, hey,
it was good.
take it down to Kmart. They can develop it for you.
Take it down to the library. You got to get that microfish reader.
Yeah.
I can't talk shit. I have slides, but I took the pictures on the slides.
All right, let me switch to this screen so we can say our goodbyes because we are way past time.
Are we?
Yeah.
It's only 9:45.
No, I know, but we're trying to keep it at 90 minutes because we're trying to keep our percentage better.
Oh, sorry.
Our percentage. All right.
Percentiles.
Closing thoughts. Anybody?
Closing thought is thank y'all for watching on Twitch. If you didn't know, you can subscribe to our channel at Technically Trek under Twitch. We appreciate any subscribers. And if you can watch us and replay some more, I would say when we go live, watch us on YouTube, use another laptop, cell phone, whatever, just plug it in, let it play in the background. We appreciate the views there. Like I said, we're not officially planning on moving over to Twitch, but this helps us with our monetization, which helps the overall stream overall, like buying PVG pants that fit, that are not nut huggers.
Paying the bills.
Oh my.
And we got to pay for all the DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yes.
I actually have the Next Generation entire 7-season Blu-ray in my cart. It's over $100.
So you mentioned this before, and I mentioned that I had most of the stuff. I redid my Plex server. I literally spent like half the week was spent archiving episodes. So I have the incomplete series of Smallville, but I do not have any of the Star Treks at all in my Plex server. I have Stargates.
Well,
I thought I had the Star Wars.
Because I'm ripping all of the Enterprise, all 4 seasons. I'm ripping those off Blu-ray. So they're 1920 by 1080. They're HD. They're really good. Because even on Paramount Plus, they're not even HD. I think they're like 720 or 480. The Enterprise episodes on Paramount. But the Next Generation Blu-ray that I have in the cart is 1920 by 1080. All 7 seasons in HD. Because on Paramount, when I rip to do shorts, it's terrible. I mean, DS9 is terrible, but there's nothing you can do about that. There's no remastering. There's no upscaling of DS9. All of the shorts I post of DS9 look terrible. But I started posting original series today because I'm getting those off Blu-ray. I don't think they're HD, but they are better quality. What up, Big E in the chat? Oh yeah, he said that your balls palsy is starting to
look gooder. Yes,
not noticeable.
Yeah, it's
and you see we rocking the moonshine. I've almost finished the whole jar in one sitting.
Looking like the Dark Lord.
I'm almost done with this whole jar of moonshine. I just opened it today.
He's got to be naked before the night's over.
No, I was naked earlier this week.
Oh.
Pause, but
Oh my.
But okay, we're gonna wrap before we get into different types of conversation. Yeah, keep an eye out
for Technically Trek After Dark.
This is what, our 44th podcast?
Episode 44.
Did you say 44 or 44?
44.
It sounded like you said
straight,
44.
44 straight Sundays. We have not missed a Sunday in 44 weeks.
I want to thank both Tommy and Mgyx for keeping me along this.
Yeah. This journey.
Yeah.
This journey of enlightenment.
So
Holy
to give
cow.
you some context for our loyal visit watchers, this is the 44th week that PVG has not done his homework either.
No. He joined on. I think he joined on week
Voyager.
3.
He's not done a review of Voyager without DJ Tommy's assistance or my assistance.
Biggie, I want to come on your podcast. I like MMA. So give me a seat, buddy.
No, listen. We are glad to have you, though. You are like, it's always better in 3s, I think. You know, like we did it with 2 and we're fine. We're bouncing off each other. But to have a third person, you know, it's kind of like a pressure valve.
Holy shit.
And Tommy,
holy shit!
You gotta take this blue light off my hair.
No, you gotta leave the blue light because I
look like a old lady, blue-haired old lady.
Perfect role for PVG.
Oh, he's got a new role for you.
PVG, have you ever watched the movie The Breakfast Club? Please.
I did. I love that. Yeah.
Think of the Breakfast Club, but in Star Trek on an Enterprise, i.e., the Academy, and you're the headmaster who's going around saying, "Mess with the bull, you get the horns." I want to see
You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
A Star Trek.
No.
Yes, I'm getting excited. That's when the palsy comes out, is when I get excited. Yes. I want to see a Breakfast Club movie that is based in Star Trek universe, like on the Starfleet Academy ship or whatever. That I think would be awesome. I think we talked about this before. Prodigy did it a little bit. But and Lower Decks definitely did it. But we need more Star Trek comedy.
Agreed.
We need more comic relief. We need a Friends built on a vessel. We need a live action Lower Decks.
That's Starfleet Academy.
And that's where Big E comes in.
No, dude.
Yes.
Academy is gonna be the 90210, the OC, the whatever of Star Trek, and none of those shows were any good. They all sucked.
All right. We wrapping because we're getting too emotional. But I do want to
He has
invite.
an idea, though. He has light bulbs.
No, I want to invite. We got an empty seat right there for Linda Pages, Mrs. Young Janeway. If you want to come out to St. Louis, PVG will fund your expenses to come out to St. Louis for an episode.
Oh my gosh.
So come on out.
Because of that.
Crewman Cherry, I will pick you up to get you in that chair over there.
You sounded like dark evil Mirror Kirk.
Dude,
No.
Hey, we got some connection
In a good way.
issues.
No, we're good now. We're dropping. I know we did. We are. I can see it. All right, we better drop because something's wrong with the internet.
Uh-oh.
It's the cold weather here. It's like 9 degrees now.
Oh my.
We freezing. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch you guys next Sunday. Stay tuned for the shorts and probably some, what do you call those videos? Nah, I don't care.
Love you guys. Kapla.
Kapla.
Carpool.
Are we going to
That's
sing
Crewman
that?
Cherry's where it
Are we going to
applause.
sing that song? The
No.
Klingon
No, we're
Warrior?
not.
All right.
Big
Peace
E.
out, everybody.
Big E.
We allies. When we're allies with the girl on Starfleet Academy with Down syndrome. Allies.
Crewman Cherry.
Fucked up.
Gotta see